All right, welcome back. I'm RealCopStoriesVideos.com. 359 cop stories, 7, 8, 9 minutes, depending on content. Please look them up. They're my babies. They're all mine. Vice narcotics gangs, gross alerts on some dead body calls, gross alerts on sticky floors, naked people running around. So enjoy them, please. Continuing on with that website. Coming up 170 questions and answers. So ask me a question, I'll respond directly, and then I'll put it on what we're going to do now. If you want to ask me a question, email me at rsbcopstories@gmail.com, please. And send me questions, man. I'm ready to answer anything, best as I can. Okay. So the last question was, have I dealt with other agencies? Okay, here's another story. This is also the FBI. Okay. You may or may not agree with this, but I'm just going to tell you what happened, and you have your own opinions on this, okay? Animal rights. Okay, I'm not talking about PETA. I'm not talking about an organization that I consider PETA just a group that cares about animals, and they're not necessarily they are a little bit political because they get money from a lot of places, but they just care about animals, all animals. Okay, what we dealt with was animal rights groups. Okay, there's a whole different thing here, and they want to be swept in with the PETA crowd, and the PETA crowd said, we don't want to be associated with these guys at all. Okay, let me give you some background on this. Much as I can tell you, you can look up on the internet and find out what you want. I'm telling you what our perspective was. That these guys were finding out where researchers, in their eyes, where researchers lived about beef and animals and rabbits and what they were doing, and they would go by their houses and either sit out front and harass them when they came home, or throw paint on their cars in the driveways, or vandalize and leave flyers that were from some animal rights group. They had some kind of, all I know is an animal rights group. They had a specific name of one. I'm not gonna give them credit for the name. I know the name, but I'm not gonna tell you who it is. But so they would do this, and it's almost an act of terrorism because I can understand you being concerned about that researchers are doing something to animals, but you really should I think you should do it the political way. In other words, get your politicians involved, call your councilman or whatever, and maybe let them do it for you on the way of doing it laterally. In other words, administrator to administrator to company could be contacted by city government saying, oh, we heard you doing this to animals, and that's the way you should do it. You should not go around and vandalize these professors and researchers and people that work for Bayer Aspirin and all that stuff, because you don't like, because they're doing it, you can go to the source of it. That's not right. It's a crime. It's a crime. It's good. Now we got terrorism. We got terrorist threats. It could be even upgraded even more than it was back in we did this in the 90s. No, actually the early 2000s. Okay, so now this is what we're looking at. Okay, so it's going on all the time, but sometimes we get calls. Let me go on a side thing. We got a call up in the Hollywood Hills that we have informants. Somebody has an informant, not us, in these organizations, and they're there only to inform law enforcement if there's something's going to be violent. Okay, and they're in there. They're undercover. They're in there to make sure that again, I know our posture was that we don't like people going out and harassing verbally, and we obviously don't like people vandalizing cars and stuff, but you draw the line into violence, and that's probably why we were looking at this, because we were concerned they were going to do some kind of violence. Okay, so we got a call in Hollywood Hills, so we went up there. Very difficult to do a surveillance up there. We had to get a friendly neighbor so we could park our cars. The streets are very narrow, basically almost one lane each way, just enough room for a fire truck pretty much, and then all these homes have their own gates and enclosed areas to park their cars, because you pretty much have to, because it's all up in there, and anyway, you can't park on the street, impossible. So we had a house up there, and some researcher, so we got a friendly neighbor and sat in the neighbor's driveway and watched the house, and we had people on each end of the streets, and sat there for a couple of days, and they're supposed to happen in the evening, and we waited for something to happen. Okay, like anything else, when you get a call like that, and it's intelligence gathering, and they're telling you what's going to happen, most of the time it doesn't happen. Okay, so whether they saw us, I doubt they saw us. I think it just wasn't going to happen. So a couple of days did that. We pulled off and went back doing other duties. Okay, so then a month or two goes by, and we told us this was animal rights groups. And I hope that you understand what that was. This isn't just, we're looking for them to vandalize, harass, and we heard rumors they might even try to scale they had one of these big rolling gates to close off the driveway, and they were talking about jumping that and terrorizing the family. And the guy, we found out the guy inside is just a guy that works for a company, and he's got like 3 kids and his wife, and try to make a living, and that's all it was. If you don't like the policies, then you call your councilman or congressman. That's what you do. Anyway, so then I'm in charge, so I get a call to go to the station, and I meet a couple of FBI agents in there. Okay, so my supervisor, my lieutenant, gets there, and we go in a conference room to have a meeting with these guys. So it's me, my lieutenant, a couple of FBI agents, and our captain. thought that was strange. Okay, so we go in there. It's a small conference. There's big conference rooms at this station. There's smaller ones. You know, like the one that can hold like roll call rooms, holds 50 people. And you have ones that are like hold like a dozen. We were in there. We start to talk. Well, somebody starts to come in the room. Somebody that wasn't involved in this. And as soon as he starts to come in the room, the agent stops and just looks at him. There's just dead silence. And our captain, since this is we're our police facility, says, "Excuse me, can we help you?" And he goes, "Oh, I thought there was no, we're having a meeting here." "Oh, okay." And they just kind of stood there. And the captain goes, "You can leave." Okay. In other words, you're not supposed to be in here. Okay. So they go, "Oh," he backs away, closes the door. I'm thinking, "Oh, what are we going to talk about here? We're going to go after the Kennedy assassin? What's going on here? You know, oh my gosh, you know." Okay. So the FBI agent said that they had a surveillance on a violent animal rights group in Burbank. And the surveillance got burned. Okay, in other words, the suspects came out and saw somebody, and they were coming out every day for a couple days. And then when they saw this guy, they actually walked up on him and said, "What are you doing? Who are you? Are you the police?" And so it's right. I mean, literally face to face with this guy, which he was in fact an FBI agent. Okay, obviously he didn't take my class. Okay, but anyway, surveillance class. So the FBI agent got freaked out, put it in drive, and almost drove the guy over and got out of there. He freaked out. Okay, well, obviously this case is burned. Okay, so you know when I work, my experience with burned cases, because we were given later on, and when I worked anti-terrorist, when the case is burned, you got to wait like a week to cool down, because for about a week or 3 or 4 days afterwards, when they come out of their driveways, they're doing this all the time. They pull to the curb, they go get gas, they look around. They go to Ralph's, they look around. They go to Vaughn's, they look around. They're constant because they got burned. They're people. So it takes a while to wear off. And I even told when I used to work narcotics surveillance, I interviewed the suspects mostly in Spanish because I was Spanish speaking. They would say that they see a car and they knew it was a narcs. And I said, "What kind of car was it?" They go, "Oh, it's a Volkswagen Bug." "Oh, we don't drive Volkswagen Bugs." Okay, so they're paranoid that everybody's a narc. Okay, or another one was one of those hippie vans. What do you call those? Volkswagen used to call them hippie vans. You know, the big long, 4-cylinder in the back, peace vans, Volkswagen. I know that was a narc. Well, first of all, we don't drive those kind of cars. We drive regular cars. Okay, so these guys are all paranoid. Okay, so you usually have to wait a week. Okay, so they asked him for help, and I'm not bragging, but my squad was pretty darn good. Okay, so the lieutenant recommended us. So if anybody can do it, he said, if anybody can do it, we can do it. And my lieutenant used to be my partner when we were both back doing gangs 20 years earlier. He became a captain, I went nowhere. And so he's a good buddy of mine, good pal. And so, okay, we'll do it. So the FBI goes, "Okay, well, they do this, this, and that." I said, "Okay, fine, we'll take care of it." And he goes, "Well, they give me that, I'm better than you look, looking down." He goes, "Well, how do you plan on doing that?" And I said, "Well, I heard that your guy was on the street, sitting across the driveway on the street." "Yeah." Again, when he said that, he had no idea what he was doing. I said, "Well, first of all, without giving you a class," now I'm talking down to him. I said, "We don't park anywhere on the block." Look at me. "We park 2 blocks away, both directions, not looking straight on in our mirrors, and we don't have to see the guy get in the car. We got the car, right? Well, the car's got to back out of the driveway. If you can't miss a 12-foot car backing out of a driveway and going either east or west, you need to get a new job. And whatever direction they go, my guys are going to see it. One guy, the opposite guy's going to see it. This guy's going to see it. He may either crunch down the seat, or, you know what he's going to do? My guys did. They drive off, because this guy's seeing it. You don't have to have 50 guys staring at the car. This guy will call it in his mirror and says, "Next intersection, make a right turn." We're already waiting for him. That's how we do it. They sit right across the street from the driveway. The guy will back out, almost crash into the FBI, which they do that, okay, because they want to see him. Well, if you want to see him get out of his car and go into his house and he's down the driveway, yeah, you're going to have to get up close and look. But if you're just going to watch him leave in that car and follow that car somewhere, so he goes, "Oh, that's how you do it? Yeah, that's how we're going to do it." You go, "Oh, you think it might be successful?" I said, "No, I know we're going to be successful." And my captain looks at me and just smiles, a little smile on his face. He goes, "Okay, well, we'll expect a report in a week." My lieutenant goes, "Well, we'll give you a report when we're ready." I mean, you can imagine there's a little bit of a, I'm better than you, and he's talking down to me, and I'm here, and then all of a sudden, I'm talking down to him, and all of a sudden, you can see what this is going here. Lieutenant talks down, everybody's all, so I'm just sitting there, because I don't have the bars and stars to be doing this. I'm just sitting there watching. I'm the guy that's going to get this done. These guys can fight all they want, I don't care. So finally, they weren't mad, they were just like wondering how we're going to do this. Okay, so we went out there. Without getting too lengthy here, because I'm running out of time here, but I'm doing okay. We set up like I told you, like Saturday morning. All they wanted was they wanted to identify the 4 people that they were in that car that they saw earlier, and they haven't been able to. That's all they want is their names, so they can look them up, and they like to run all these flow charts. Who's this guy? Did they have a criminal record for future to see if, because if they do something, they want to see if they have fingerprints. They're doing a big case, and that's fine, but they got to find out who these guys are first. And you only can do so much. You can't really necessarily evaluate their rides. You can't go in there without false pretenses and jack them up. You have to have a reason, or something has to be done to do this. So, okay, fine. So there was the correct way, the legal way. So one day went by, nothing happened. Second day went by, here we go. Okay, I got a guy in a pickup truck, my guy, down the street, and the guy's over here. Guy comes out down the driveway, and he says, I think he's coming from our house. Can't tell because you're kind of far away. Well, it's our guy. What does he do? He comes down. Who does this? Comes down the end of his driveway, goes like this. Okay, do you do that when you come to my driveway? Before you drive out? No. Okay, so then he goes across the street, and he's walking up down the street. Well, that's where that FBI agent was parked. Look, and he says, he's looking at every car. He's looking for the cops. He crosses over here, and my guy is another block and a half down there. You're not going to catch him. And if he did, well, you know what I would do if he got close to him? My guys are sharp. He'd just drive off. Okay, so here they come, back by the house, the other way, looking at every car, across the street, every car. Then he runs up the driveway. I said, stand by, here they come, because he figures it's clear. Here we come. Sure enough, 20 seconds, this car backs out of the driveway and takes off. Oh, we're ready for him, man. We're like white on rice, man. We're all over this guy. Okay, there he goes. My assistant gets in behind him. He has a pretty cool car. Goes a couple of streets. Told you, my guy pulls off. New guy comes up. Another turn. We're doing this. Back to the drill, right? Boom, boom. Gets in the freeway, going northbound out of the city, out of Burbank. Going through San Fernando Valley. Freeways for us, when it's moving, is great. Freeways are bumper to bumper is a horror. Ooh. But moving, beautiful. One car follows, everybody else stays back half a mile. You don't have to see the car. Just wait until this guy gets tired. He backs off. Next guy comes up. You do that all day long. There's 10 of us. No problem. So we're heading out. Through San Fernando Valley, heading up towards Magic Mountain. Okay. Oh, where are we going? Okay. So I call my boss, my lieutenant. That's great, that's great. I said, yeah. I said, he's driving kind of funny, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to call the Highway Patrol to have him pulled over and identify him. Because we're not going to manufacture, but he is driving. He's speeding, then he slows down, then he's lane changing, so we can justify a stop to the Highway Patrol that we have tickets here, multiple tickets to a reason to stop him. Just any reason, okay? So here we go. Over the Grapevine, down the other side, freeway splits. One goes to the right towards Fresno, one goes to the left towards Coalinga and the smelly cows and all these places up that way. The guy's nodding. These guys came from there, and so they make the right split and they're heading towards Fresno. Okay, so now my assistant's on the phone trying to get the Highway Patrol. So he tells me, I called him. We need to stop. Do you need an arrest? No, but if you need a reason, we saw him multiple violations. We can authorize you to use our name to write him a ticket. We didn't want that. Okay, but if I was an officer, I'd want a reason to stop. Not just because somebody needs to be stopped. Now you're get on the edge of illegal search and seizure and illegal stop. You don't want to do that. But they have a legal stop. So finally, we passed the Fresno exit. Where are we going to go? I have no idea. So Highway Patrol pulls them over, and when he pulls them over, then what do? We just go right by, And next off ramp, we pull off and we hide. Those off ramps are like this. They go up like this over the freeway. So we get off and we're hiding on the opposite side of the hill there. All of us. There's 10 of us. Right? So we're all waiting. So they talked to the guys. They got their ID. Told them what they did wrong. Blah blah blah. And fine. And my assistant said, no, don't write them a ticket. Just warn them and say we need to know who's in the car and whose car is it, and then just let them go on their way. Okay, fine. It was standard police stop. No big deal. They probably felt good that we didn't give him a ticket. That's good. So as soon as he got done, we told him where we're at by phone, and the car went by, and then the Highway Patrolman pulls off, and here he comes. So we got information. Okay. So that was within the second day. Okay. Got the information. I got a smile on me like a Cheshire cat because a lot of things are happening here. We got him out of there. We weren't burned. We identified the 4 bodies. Highway Patrol was really good at helping us. Got a really good Highway Patrolman, older guy, a little more mature. Wasn't like a young guy that's going to go crazy here. He just understands that we're doing intelligence work here, and everything was good. And the best thing is I can call my lieutenant and give him that information that I have when I get back, and he can walk over to the FBI office and say, "Here's your stuff. It took us 2 days." Yeah, okay. So that was pretty good. So that's exactly what happened. I call my boss. He goes, "That's great. You guys go have dinner. Come on back at your leisure. You're gonna make some overtime. That's fine. Don't race back." So went and found some steak place. I mean, not an expensive steak place. We're cops, for crying out loud. But like a Sizzler or something. Went down there, had a nice steak dinner. We celebrated. We basically toasted each other with sodas and water and told each other how bitching we were. and and pretty much patted ourselves on the back because we did really good. They were on this guy for like a week and a half, and they burned it, and then they wasted all that manpower, and we got it in 2 days basically. Actually one day if you think about what we saw. The first day nothing happened, so I don't even count that. But the second day when he actually came out, physical body came out, we had him that day. Within 3 hours, we had whatever time it takes to drive from there past Fresno. Anyway, so it's pretty good. The captain called me a couple days after that because I came back in and met my lieutenant, gave him the information, and then the captain called him and asked and said what happened. Then he calls me and congratulated me on what he did, and you guys are the bomb and all that good stuff. And I said, yeah, we are. He goes, and of course he tells me you did a good job, and I've never done that. And I said, well, I don't do anything, sir, without my people. I'm just one of the guys. He goes, I know, but you know what I mean. I said, well, yeah, I know, because a lot of people my level, pompous guys, would take credit for this. No, you got 9 other people working for you, and they're doing the work. Hope you enjoyed that. My time's running out, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.